Welcome to our class on thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is the science that discusses the relation of heat to mechanical work. The relation of heat to mechanical work. See, from my books, Terminology and Agricultural Metrology, written in 1995, approximately 32 years back, and the Terminology and Agronomy and Agricultural Metrology. Above all, the basic principles of horticulture metrology. From these books only I am teaching. This was written in the year 2000. Okay, now see the first law of thermodynamics. By definition, I would like to impress upon you that whenever work is transformed into heat, whenever work is transformed into heat or heat into work, okay, the quantity of work is mechanically equivalent to the quantity of the heat. So, say for example, you take this one, it's not exactly the same thing, okay, I am doing the work here. The work done is directly proportional to heat, okay, so it is not exactly the same, but to just explain you, I am interested to tell. Now, see, the first law of thermodynamics is very clear that whenever work is transformed into heat or heat into work, the quantity of work is mechanically equivalent to the quantity of the heat. So, where work is proportional to heat, work is equal to heat with a constant, that's what we call as a Joule's constant, 4.186 into 10 to the power of 7, 10 to the power of 7 x per calories. Okay, this is what is the first law of thermodynamics. What is the implication of it? See, in general, whenever heat is imparted to a body, whenever a heat is imparted to a body, okay, a part of it is used to increase its internal energy, that is to raise its own temperature, and the rest in doing the external work. So, whenever we give heat to a particular anything, say you take the glasses or something, whenever some heat is there, when we give some heat, okay, what it increases first its own temperature, then it increases the, of course, in doing the other work is done in doing the work. So, in the similar circumstances, this equation represents a differential form of the first law of thermodynamics. It can therefore be stated, okay, in the differential equations, first law of thermodynamics, so first order, second order, third order differential equations. So just we try to discuss in the days to come. Up to that point, we try to understand that. See, the first law of thermodynamics says that whenever work is transformed into heat or heat into, okay, work, the quantity of work is mechanically equivalent to the quantity of the heat. Okay, this is what is the first law. The second law of thermodynamics is very, very interesting. It's very, very simple. In the general life also, same thing, work done. See, I am able to talk to you, first law of thermodynamics. How I am able to talk to you? By eating morning some idli, afternoon some sort of food and everything. So that energy is coming out. See, generally, okay, any examples you can take, only it's not exactly physically equivalent, but some examples like that. That's what I am telling you. Rubbing the hands, heat is generated. Work done is directly proportional to the heat. That's what is the first law of thermodynamics. What is the second law? Now, the heat cannot flow. Heat cannot flow from a cold to a hot body. Heat cannot flow from a cold to a hot body without the performance of work by some external agency. This is a wonderful thing. Classical examples I will tell. See, for example, explanation I would like to say. It is clear from the definition that heat cannot flow from a body at a low temperature to a body at a high temperature unless work is done by an external agency. This is in accordance with our experience in other branches of physics. In any branches of physics, what we can say, a body cannot move from a lower to a higher level unless work is done on it by an external agency. Say for example, this book is there. Okay, this book I wanted to just push it. Okay, how it is going up, okay, how it is, a body cannot move from a lower to a higher level unless work is done from the from an external agency. So I am using the energy through my hand. So that's why it is able to move. Similarly, in electric current, for example, in any electric current, electric does not flow from a lower to a higher potential unless work is done on it. That means, I am able to go in the steps. So second law is very simple. I am able to go one step, second step, third step, like that. How is second law says that? Okay. Heat cannot flow from a cold body to a higher body, or otherwise a body cannot move from a lower to a higher level unless work is done. This is a very simple law, very, very useful law. Of course, in other words, it is impossible to derive continuous supply of work by cooling a body to a temperature lower than that of the coldest of its surroundings. This is a wonderful implication of the second law of thermodynamics. Surroundings, so many bodies are there. So if you want to get the work done, okay, where it is impossible to derive continuous supply of work by cooling a body to a temperature lower than that of the coldest of the innumerable surrounding bodies. So this is the implication of the second law of thermodynamics. So in the days to come, how these are useful in our crop production. In addition to crop production, animal rearing, okay, in plantation crops, so the laws can be really useful. So because energy, finally, energy is utilized. Sun's energy is utilized in the economically required parts. In case of cereals, grains, in case of plantation crop, fruits, in case of tuber crop, roots. Okay, so how these can be used in the days to come in the advanced. This is the basics. Now this is what is the first law of thermodynamics and second law of thermodynamics. Thank you very much for your patience. May God bless you.